Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Q&A on 203K for home inspectors. I want to thank you all so much for being on the webinar this evening. My name is Catherine Hall, and I'm going to be your host tonight. And we're going to begin right away because I want to make sure that we are able to end on time today. So we want to make sure that we get started exactly on time, and we want to really make sure that we get you in and out as quickly as possible. So let us begin. And as I said before, this webinar is being recorded. And there you go. This webinar is being recorded so that all of you who are on the webinar today will be receiving a copy of this webinar sent to you as a free gift. Also, we have a special free gift for those of you who stay all the way through to the end. So please make sure that you stay all the way to the end of the presentation. So now the first thing I want to do is give you a little bit of background about me. I just spend a few seconds letting you know who I am, because as I like to say, I don't believe you can hear a person until you know who they are. And so I don't know if you can find me in this picture here. Where's Waldo, or where's Catherine, as it were? But I actually started out in school for performing arts, and don't look at the dates, but I actually spent most of my junior high, high school, and some of my college work actually in performing arts involvement. I never thought that I was going to be a home inspector when I was a little girl. So if you couldn't find me, there I am there. My goodness, how time changes. And so, I mean, if you look here, this is not look like a future building consultant, except for the Chippendale slippers. I'm sure that's something that every home inspector should be wearing. But I started out, as I said, not even thinking that home inspection was going to be my future. But today, I am very active involved in this process. I walked into it backwards. I got an internship during college at the City of Philadelphia Department of Licensing and Inspections because my father was working there. And that was my beginning in a residential building. So today, I am a 20-plus year owner of Value Home Inspections. I performed over 4,000 home inspection and residential consultations. I've been a certified 203K consultant for over 15 years, and I've completed over 1,200 initial consultations. I can't even count how many draw inspections I've performed in my lifetime, because for every 203K project, you have at least 3 to 4, so you do the math. And I'm also the part owner of the Keystone Real Estate Academy here in the Delaware Valley. My credentials in the residential building industry also include I'm an instructor at the Drexel University Science Center, where I teach environmental sciences. I am a PA-led licensed pest applicator. I actually own my own pest company called Value Termite and Pest Control. I have a radon technician's license. We do radon here in my company locally. I'm a lead risk assessor and also a certified mold inspector. So today, I've actually, as you can see, embraced everything that has to do with the world of residential building activities. So before we actually start, a lot of people were asking me at the Inspection World Conference, and this is a follow-up to that event. For those of you who were participating at that event, this is a follow-up webinar, invited all of you who attended that. So a lot of you are saying, what is the difference between a 203K and a home inspection? Why would I want to do this? So let's open up a little bit about what a home inspection is. And if you really think about it, I'm a home inspector. As you can see, I've done a lot of them myself, and I love what a home inspector can provide, the information, the resource, the knowledge, and the education that we give customers. We are truly a valuable tool in the home buying process. Don't get me wrong. I do not doubt that in any way, shape, or form. But really, a home inspection report in and of itself, is that a tool for getting to settlement, or is it more of a roadblock, something that you are creating that actually will stop them from going to closing until they have overcome the hurdles that you've identified in your report? So if you think about it, when you do a home inspection, everybody is worried about what we're going to find. Oh, I hope you don't find anything, because if you find something, that stops them from going to closing. It makes them feel like, in some cases, this house isn't worth my buying. So that's the first problem that you identify. Now, when you do a home inspection, many times, especially in the real estate market today, and even though the market is rebounding, and I was just listening on the news today how the economy is improving, that people are getting, it's getting more healthy, the economy is getting much healthier. The new drop in housing prices, I don't know about you in your area, but here in my market, the drop in housing prices the drop in gas prices has sparked a jump in my housing inspections. People are looking for homes again, and they're looking further out than they had thought of before because they figure, hey, if gas is this cheap, I can drive a little bit further. Now, we all know that nothing lasts forever, and it's kind of short-sighted to think that the gas prices are going to stay this low forever. It'd be nice. But I'm going to take what I can get. And so that being said, what are you doing? What can you do if you're doing an inspection of a property that is like the one on the left, upside down in its mortgage, or on the right, a foreclosed home with boarded up windows, utilities turned off, and you're basically giving a whole lot of issues and reporting on a whole lot of deficiencies in the home? What can you do? What does your customer do with a report that describes so many defects with no seller to negotiate with? It's a short sale, or it's an REO, it's a bank-owned property, or the seller just is unable to or unwilling to make repairs. What does your buyer do at that point? Well, in most cases, they have to walk away from the transaction. And when they walk away from the transaction, what they're doing is they're going to be left with an unhappy taste in their mouth about the home inspection process. Now, I'm going to make two promises to you tonight. One, where possible, I'm going to slip in a little additional bonuses of information and some resources for you that you can take advantage of in your market. And two, I'm going to promise to be done no later than 10:05 p.m. Okay, I promise to go no further than 5 minutes over the 10 o'clock slot. Hopefully I won't even do that. But let me just share something with you briefly. When you do a home inspection and the borrower, and we use the term borrower when we're talking about home inspections, because as a home buyer, as a building consultant, we are working with customers who are borrowing a mortgage, and so we talk about them from the standpoint of borrowers. So now, when you are working with a customer, borrower, home buyer, whatever, and you do an inspection, and the property and the house is so bad that the buyer is not going to buy the home. You've had that situation where right at the end of the inspection, you find that the buyer says, I'm not buying this home at all. What do you do? What do you say? Well, you say, well, I'll be happy to give you a discount on your next inspection, or I look forward to seeing you on another inspection. Well, let me give you a little tip about something that I suggest that you do that will make a huge impact on your market and how you generate business with your customers. This is something that I do here in my local market, and it's called the 30-day free inspection guarantee. So now I'm hoping that you get, there it is. Okay, it's coming up there. What we do is if a client does an inspection with us, our company gives them the opportunity to have a free inspection on the next property if the property that they purchase for whatever reason, the inspection falls through. We will inspect that next home for absolutely free if it's scheduled and performed within 30 days. Now, there is one more caveat to this, and the caveat is that they must be using the same agent that they used the first time. And this is one of the things that has gotten agents to use my company year after year, no matter what our fees are, because this is something that they know is going to benefit their buyers, because if for any reason at all, they get that next inspection absolutely free. So now if you'd like more information on this service, or you want copies of the agreement, you can just go to our company website, valuehomeinspections.com, or you can email me and I'll be more than happy. But if you're looking for a way to set yourself apart from your competition without killing yourself, this is it. So now I'd love to hear feedback about that, because I know a lot of people will say, oh, I'm not doing anything for free. trust me, the number that we do for free in relation to the ones that we pay, in relation to the paid inspections is nominal. We maybe do one or two a month, and for me, that's worth its weight in gold. So now, what if you're, now I've given you a little bit of a marketing tip. I digressed. Okay, so now let's move back to where we're talking about. What if the repairs that you identify can't be done prior to closing and the client doesn't want to go find another home? What can they do? Well, they can use the FHA 203K rehab mortgage. This is a loan that allows them to add the cost of the repairs to the purchase price and include them into one mortgage. The repairs do not begin until after closing, and the mortgage amount is actually based upon, the value of the home is based upon what the house will be worth when the repairs are finished. So let's look at this a little more closely. Let's go back to our home inspector example. What is a home inspector? What does a home inspector have to deal with? Are we nothing more than, 6 on one hand, half dozen on the other? We deal with intense competition. I don't know about you, but the reason why I created my 30-day free guarantee was to address the competition that I have in my market. I'm here in the Philadelphia, Delaware Valley. There's 5 home inspectors for every square mile almost. Demanding market conditions. I don't know about you, but I've had situations where we have a lot of real estate agents who want you to do certain things even though it doesn't really make sense to you or it's not really ethical for you. They make it very difficult to work, and they make it so very demanding on you. Liability. Home inspections are a risky business. You do an inspection and you're stuck with a situation where years after you've done the inspection, you can be held liable for what the conditions of that inspection are. And fee wars. Again, I've had people, and I'm sure you have too, have called your office and said, well, the person down the street is willing to do this for, X amount of dollars less. How do you compete against that? You have to find some other way to separate yourself from the pod. You have to basically no longer be a dime a dozen. You've got to be something different. And one of the important things that you have to do as a home inspector is long hours. Long hours from the standpoint that many of us deliver the reports the next day, so that means a lot of us are up at night writing reports. And if we are doing data entry or keying in information on site, it's still follow-up and information that you have to do. So let's look at the home inspection. Let's break down a fee of a home inspection. One of the things I talked about when I was with you in the Inspection World Conference in Philadelphia was how much are people charging for inspections? Well, the average inspection fee nationally is around $350 per inspection. In our area here in the Delaware Valley, the fees are slightly higher. We have older homes. So the typical fee for a row home or a townhouse is around $400 in our market. But let's go nationally, since we have people from all over the country on this call. The average inspection fee is $350. So let's break that down. As you can see, including all the activities you have to do, you're looking at 11 hours worth of work for every inspection you do. So basically you're making $31.50 per hour. That's not too bad if you think about it. And in some cases, if you are consolidating your report writing into the inspection time, or sometimes you're able to get less marketing because you're able to get more inspections from one office and you don't have to do a whole lot of traveling. But by and large, most of us have to do follow-up and marketing to generate this business. So on average, we're earning $31.50 an hour. What's a 203K consultant get? Well, as a 203K consultant, you get different and more ways to get paid. There are lots of ways you get paid. One is the feasibility inspection. This is the preliminary evaluation that you do with the property, otherwise what you would consider the home inspection, where we identify what the repairs are that need to be done in order to complete the renovation process. And you get paid based upon that feasibility inspection. Typically, and I'm going to show you how it breaks down, but typically feasibility inspections are around $400. Then you have the work write-up report. The work write-up report, whoops, we had a little bit of drop there in signal. The work write-up report is when the client and the contractor have been selected and they identify the repairs they want to do and they need you to do the final up paperwork, and you get paid on that report as well. Between this and this are other additional fees. As I said earlier, I have a termite company, so I do termite inspections. There's one more fee, but then that's for every home inspection. Some fees that are very popular with feasibility inspections that may not be as popular with home inspections are mold inspections, because FHA is very sensitive to mold issues in homes, and so pretty much every feasibility study I'm doing almost these days, I'm actually doing an additional mold inspection, which tacks on an additional $150 to $250 or more, depending on the severity of the mold infestation. Then you have the draw inspections. 1 to 6 times with every project, you go out and do a draw inspection, which is around $200 plus mileage, and it starts at $200. It actually goes up. So here's the fee schedule. So let's break it down. You get paid based upon the repair amount. And typically, in most 203K programs, you're looking at a fee, most people are doing fees that are, I'd say, between the $45,000 and $60,000 range. And my hand wiggles, okay? So which means you're looking at a fee of $800 for this renovation project. So now how does that break out? It breaks out that $400 is what's paid to you at the feasibility inspection, and then the other $400 is paid to you at the work write-up, and then after closing is when you get your draw fees. Also, you get to be charging additional $50 for every additional unit on the property. And so these are the fees that you're getting with the renovation process. So how does that break out? So as you can see, the feasibility study paid at the inspection, all pays are paid at the inspection. The termite inspection, if needed, your draw fees, the work write-up and consultation, and then your mileage. So for every project that I'm going out to the property, every time I'm getting paid. So for this one house, the one property, I'm making $1,717. How many home inspections do you have to do to get that much money? So let's break that down the same way we broke down the home inspection matrix. 203K consultant. Travel time, 2 hours. The little 2's not there, but trust me, it's added in there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. And there's your 2 more there. So 2 hours travel time, 2 hours of on-site inspection time. Now, if you notice, I put here 2.5 hours of report time. And that's because as you start, it's going to take you a little longer to process the reports. And I'm not trying to unfairly tell you that, oh, this is going to be something you'll be able to do in 20 minutes. I even take up to 45 minutes to do a report. And so I'm not going to expect you at the early stages to take anything less than 2 to 2.5 hours. You got to get used to it. Just like how long did it take you to do your first home inspection report? Let's not go back that far. Marketing for your business is so much less because you don't even need to market. Lenders will call you. They are starved for consultants. They have no one to do this. So you're not spending the time you spend on marketing. And follow-up, there's no follow-up because the follow-up is built into the 203K draw inspections. So if the average 203K consultation fee is $800 or $850 nationally, your wages is $85 an hour, almost double. And then you make an additional $80 per hour for the draw inspections, which take you anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes, not including travel time. So, again, you're making money doing less work, and isn't that what we all want to do? So now, no competition, and I'm going to show you that in just a few seconds. The growth is continuing, and more lenders are doing 203K. Many of you have mentioned to me that you've been asked about it in your own markets and you didn't know what to say. Referrals come from lenders. Not dealing with a real estate agent is one of the biggest perks in my mind. Reduce liability. I'm not going to say there's no liability, but there is no liability. Truly, because the liability passes through, A, before closing to the appraiser, who verifies the repairs that you've indicated need to be done prior to closing, and to the contractor, who also estimates the repairs before closing and is responsible for doing the repairs after settlement. And there's also something known as a contingency to cover unforeseen problems after closing. And lastly, quicker inspections and limited labor. Unlike a home inspection, you're not climbing on roofs. You're not crawling in crawl spaces. You're not taking off covers off the electrical panel. Your standard of care is that of an appraiser. slightly higher because if you choose to give more information, you can. I did a 203K last week, and it was had been raining, freezing rain slightly, so the weather was not really great. I didn't have to worry about explaining why I wasn't going on the roof. It's not required. The contractors who bid will go on the roof, and I basically said what I felt needed to be done based upon my visual assessment, and for them to bid, they need to go on the roof themselves and assess what they feel the cost will need to be. And the most important thing about a 203K is higher fees. So now, 203K mortgages. Let's break it down a little bit into some of the technicalities. A 203K mortgage is exactly like a 203B, an FHA mortgage, which you might be referred to as an FHA mortgage, with three important differences. One, all the repairs are corrected after closing. This is one of the biggest selling features to real estate agents once they learn about this program, because it helps them understand that they don't have to negotiate except maybe to get the seller to lower the sale price. And the cost to complete the repairs are escrowed as part of the mortgage, and the home buyer can borrow up to 110 of the after repaired appraised value. So with these three important differences, it makes 203K the way people can get to closing. So now a lot of you have asked me, well, is anybody using this? I've gotten what if I haven't been hearing about it? What if no one's been asking me? No one's called me? Well, I have a question. If you haven't heard about it, but you think there might be some interest, do people call you to do car inspections? Maybe the reason why you haven't heard about it is because you are not a consultant, so you haven't let people know you know anything about it. If you didn't tell people you were a home inspector, do you think they would ask you about that? Something to think about. So now, what's happening in the world of FHA 203K? Well, basically, ever since the mortgage meltdown, 203Ks have gone steadily upward. And then, as the market has improved, it's turned out that 203Ks have still gotten better. I pulled up some of the recent records, and as of September 2014, 18,865 FHA loans were endorsed all around the country. So think about that, 203K loans, and if they were approximately, let's round it up to $1,200 per project. Okay, I'll make it even less than the $1,700 that I showed you, but let's say each project is $1,200. 18,000 properties times $1,200, that means there were 203K consultants out there making $21 million in income on the part of the consultant. Not too shabby. So now, I took a survey to find out who was on the call today, and those of you who had registered the earliest, I wanted to give you some I actually pulled some data to give you some personalized information, because the question is anybody using it in your area? And the question is, yes. Let me open this up here and show this to you. And let's see if I can get that to open. Hold on. And what I'm about to do is I'm going to show you a form that actually I can give you the information on how you can find this on the internet yourself. And here it is. Let me open this up for you. This is the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development endorsement summary. And I've just opened it up to make you see it bigger. And I highlighted some of the areas of some of the people who are on the call tonight that I knew about early on. And as you can see, we've got the New York area. Some of our bigger areas are Newark, Delaware, and Philadelphia, New York, Cleveland, Ohio, Jacksonville, Chicago, Illinois, Orlando, Florida, Miami, Florida, Denver, Colorado, New Orleans, Fresno, Seattle. So these are the totals. These are the totals for the month and for the year to date as of September of last year. That's how they have they haven't done the last quarter yet. So this is the information I have through September of last year, showing you the volume of business nationally. And so as you can see, there is a great deal of involvement and interest in 203K all across the country. So now the next question was, well, is anybody doing them in my area? Who's doing 203Ks in my part of the world? Well, that's a real easy question for me to answer. And you can too, by just Googling. If you go to Google and type in 203K Consultants -HUD, you'll be able to see who is doing it in your area. So if I click this link here, and we have someone on the call who's calling from Syracuse, New York. So I'm going to type in Syracuse, S-Y-R-A-C-U-S-E. And you see I already had it ready, New York. And there you see there are only 2 consultants in Syracuse, New York. So let me ask you, how many other home inspectors are you competing with in your market right now? Another person who was early on the call that I noticed was calling from Newark, Delaware. And I actually traveled down to Newark, Delaware myself right now because of the absence of consultants. So you see, Newark, Delaware is a state that does not have home inspection licensing. And so there is no requirement that you be a licensed home inspector to do anything in Delaware. So I get calls to go down to Delaware. Now you see why. There's no consultants down there. And so this is why I'm so excited we have someone on the call today who is from Delaware, because it lets me possibly have a new member of our association who can actually be able to provide this service and keep me from having to run around all the way to Delaware, because I'm busy traveling the country, as you probably know. So this is what I wanted to show you here. So now that I've shown you who's doing them in our area, a lot of people have said to me, well, I thought this was for low-income buyers. I didn't realize 203Ks were, I didn't know what people can use them, what type of people can use them. Well, the 203K loan program is not for low-income buyers. And so what I've done is I actually have printed off from the HUD website what the maximum single-family, 2, 3, and 4-family loan limits are for Wilmington, Camden, Philadelphia. And down here, this is the high loan limit areas for the expensive areas. The single-family residence starting maximum loan limit is as high as $625,500. So as you can see, this loan is not for low-income home buyers. And there are other loans called the Fannie Mae Home Style Mortgage and conventional renovation loans that use consultants but have no loan limits whatsoever and no prerequisites. So the question is there still a growing need? The question that was written, is the housing market well yet? Not quite. There's still a long way to go before we're going to find ourselves in a position where we're at a place where we're able to be healthy. And granted, even after that point, the need for qualified residential building consultants will stay busy, largely because now that buyers know about it, they want to use it. So now, why are you the person who should do this? What makes you the best person to do 203Ks? You're the best person to do a 203K because we are the most qualified, educated, informed, and competent people in the residential real estate market at this time to do this kind of work. It used to be done by appraisers, but as we know, appraisers do not any longer have the in-depth knowledge and skill in residential real estate defects, recognition, and identification. In fact, in order to be an appraiser, you're not required to be a home inspector. You're required to be a real estate agent in many states first. So in order to be a 203K consultant, as of 2000, you must be a home inspector in states where home inspection licensing is required, because the government recognizes that we are the people in the best skill and position to do this kind of work. So I talked about the lack of liability, and I went over the fact that there is a contingency reserve added to the repair amount, and that contingency covers unforeseen problems that might arise after closing. So now, I had promised in the email that I sent out to you that I would answer questions as they were imported into the program, in the presentation, and I have been trying to focus my comments in this presentation around the questions I've received. One of the questions that was, however, that I wanted to really, unpack was about the contingency reserve. The contingency reserve, someone had said, well, I don't understand how that works and, what happens with that, because if someone is buying a home, what if they don't need the contingency? Is it just taken away? The contingency is added to the total mortgage, and the borrower pays a loan based upon the purchase price, the repair amount, and the contingency. It's wrapped into one mortgage, and they make one mortgage payment. So even if they don't use the contingency, it's still part of the mortgage. And if they don't, so it doesn't change. So if they don't need the contingency, what happens is there's a principal reduction, and that's basically taken off the back end of the mortgage. But in most cases, we show buyers how to use that money to their advantage, since they already are making the monthly payment on it anyway. Some situations, however, where the contingency is extremely large for major projects, borrowers who do not need that money will then take the principal reduction and then refinance the mortgage, and they have a substantial ability to refinance at a lower rate. So, what is 203K doing for me? Well, I want you to know that I'm doing a lot of traveling around the country. I am the executive director of the National Association of FHA Consultants, and I'm also involved in the development of a new software, which I'm going to show you in just a few minutes. And so my ability to work on the ground here in my local company has dropped dramatically. I have a multi-inspector firm, and all of our inspectors are certified consultants, and so all of them do this work. So this is what I'm doing as an FHA consultant in my local market on a part-time basis. On a part-time basis, I'm doing 10 initial feasibility studies. Otherwise, you would think of home inspections. I'm only doing 10 a month. And I'm doing 3 203K inspections for clients who are buying homes with the Streamline K. I get calls from lenders saying, my client is getting a Streamline mortgage and we want them to only use you for that inspection to make sure it's qualified for the Streamline, to make sure that this is something that's going to work for them. And so that's what I'm actually doing, is Streamline inspections. And since all my other inspectors do this as well, but I'm just showing you my personal money stream from last year. So, one seller pre-inspection, which is a 203K evaluation that we do for sellers so that they can know how to lower the sale price, especially if they want to find out what's going on in the home. Many estate sellers will love this loan inspection because they offer their home as an FHA buyer to FHA buyers, and now they know what to expect as far as either what they're going to repair to meet the FHA requirements or how much they're going to drop the sale price to accommodate those mandatory repairs. On average, for every 10 initial feasibility study inspections I do, about 6 of them actually will need a work write-up in that month. 4 of them, sometimes on average, either 3 or 4 of them don't go through. The repairs are too extensive, the buyer can't qualify for the mortgage, various reasons why people don't buy homes. But out of those 10, and again, I'm not trying to overly inflate this program. I don't have to. It's great just the way it is. So even if I only did 6 write-ups, this $2,100 is made without me leaving my office. Most of my staff does this paperwork, and I get a credit card given to us to complete this transaction. Then I do draw inspections. Well, once you get draws in your pipeline, these 10 inspections, these 6 work write-ups will actually turn into draws in the upcoming month. So if I have just 3 months worth of work that are in process, I'm doing 18 to 20 draws every month that take about 30 minutes at $200 a draw. Again, I didn't even add the mileage, so that's even more money on top of that. So each month my income is $11,725, and that's part-time, because as you can see, I'm really only working 2-3 days a week to do this. And for me, this is a great exit strategy for someone looking to find a way to retire but still keep a nice income without working. So that being said, in January 2015, I have already done 4 new feasibility studies, and even with the blizzards. And the average fee per property is $1,000 to $2,200. Nice money. So I wanted to show you some of the things that I've done with 203K, why I love them. And as the executive director of the National Association of FHA Consultants, our motto is rebuilding neighborhoods one home at a time. This is the before picture. This actually is the first day of construction of a property that I inspected. And this is the last day of the last final draw. This was a $200,000 renovation with a $25,000 contingency reserve, and they used every penny of it. They actually put in 2 fireplaces, and they had some problems that came up, but no one complained about those problems because we had the money to handle them. So no one yelled at me. So here's a picture of the inside of that house. On the 3rd floor, you can see the snow was coming in the window, and this is what it looks like today. They redid the floors, they re-rocked every room, we put new windows everywhere, new light fixtures. It's a beautiful home to live in. Another picture of the same very, very heavily renovated property. The staircase, you can see the damage to the walls, and here's what it looks like today. Now, some situations you're not doing major renovations. This was a property that was a REO, and the person had been vandalized, so appliances were taken out and the sinks were ripped out. There was no more plumbing. It had been winterized, so everything was gone. So that's what it looked like before, and then this is what it looked like after. A completely new property with marble and granite, and these cabinets came from Sweden. Custom range and refrigerator, dishwasher, everything that you see here was included in the 203K with the exception of the towels. Okay, so this is what you can do with a 203K. Here's another property. This home was built by Frank Lloyd Wright, the architect, and this actually was an indoor-outdoor room that was slate floor and leaking patio doors, and they wanted to make this part of the living space. And so we did. So we rocked everything and we sealed up everything. You can see there's that brick wall, the stone wall in the corner. We put new flooring down. We put heated floor tiles. We actually had floor heating, radiant floor heating. And so this is something that they made the doors, a sliding glass, floating doors, floating walls. And all this was done with the 203K. Sometimes you have a situation where you're dealing with a short sale. This was a bank-owned property. It was the ground had frozen, and there was actually the water had collected in the basement, and it actually had settled, and actually a sinkhole had developed in the basement. And so we had to take that and redo that, and put in a new sump pump, put in a new concrete floor. Everything was done to make this house habitable again. Sometimes you're doing simple repairs that may not even need to be done, but are done for the desires of the client. Here the client had some damaged, rotted siding, so they could have just done some minor repairs, but instead they chose to re-side the whole home. So just the front wall needed to be re-sided, and so it was very simple to do. Sometimes you have massive projects where you've got major repairs that need to be done to basically rebuild the neighborhood and make it the house it's worth having on the block. And can you imagine how beneficial this would be to an office real estate presentation when you can go in and say, this is the house that I worked with Jane Jones to help the buyer, and this is what the home looks like now. Jane, I'd stay in touch with this buyer because if they ever decide to sell, they're going to need you and the amount of money you're going to make on that sale is going to be amazing. With the 203K program, the reports that you get are easy to understand, very comfortable to use, and people like the quality and the information. Another benefit of the 203K program is the turnaround time of the report. It's not the next day. It's not the same day. It's actually 3 to 5 business days. Depending on additional reports that are required, it can even be longer before you have to deliver the results. This way you can balance your time, and you're not going home every night rushing to complete a report to get to the client the very next day. The software is incredibly easy and complete. We are actually in the process of doing preparing for our beta testing of the Genesis Rehab software. This is a system that's designed by me, America's 203K Queen, for consultants just like you. And this software is completely 100% web-based. It will provide you with everything that you need to be able to be a successful 203K consultant. With this program, you actually are going to find yourself having online access in a way that is not available right now in any other medium. Right now, there's only one other online-based software, and we're making our system so that it is so powerful it will even be integrated with Inspection Support Network. For those of you who are affiliated with using ISN, our system will make it so that you can upload your reports directly from ISN and be able to have it download and upload back and forth interactively to their site. I'm making the software to please me, and considering I do so many and know and have my finger on the pulse of consultants around the country, I know exactly what it's looking for, and I'm very, very honored to say that this software is going to provide so much benefit to everyone who's working with it. So, where does this place you in the process? Where should you think about 203K? Does this sound interesting to you? A lot of you ask, well, how do I get certified to be a 203K consultant? Well, here's the situation. Are you able to be certified? If you have been a home inspector for 3 or more years and are currently licensed and qualified to do inspections in your state, then you absolutely right now have all that you need, the experience and the expertise to be a 203K consultant. What you now need is the knowledge. You need to know how to do the 203K consultations. You need to know what forms to complete to submit your application package to HUD. How do you get your business? As I said, you don't need to do much marketing, but where do I go to let lenders know I'm here? How do you manage the form? What do you charge? How do you work with contractors and borrowers? What do you need to do to make this successful? Well, like anything else, when you know how to do it, it's easy to do. And we've made it easy for you to be able to do the FHA 203K program. What we provide you is, first of all, a 203K Quick Start training package. And in that Quick Start training package, we provide you all the tools that you need not only to get certified, but to successfully navigate your first 203K project. We actually will give you, in the information that we provide you, everything done for you. Our 203K in a Box Elite Training System will provide you the training manual. We give you a manual that actually gives you all the information you need to be able to study and a guide for preparing your information. We give you DVDs of me doing consultations and feasibility studies so that you can understand what to say when you're out at a property. We give you a look over my shoulder tools. We give you the Quick Start training tools, which include all the things that you need to get certified, including the resume already prepared for you so that all you have to do is drop your information in the information location and your details. We provide you with the field notes so that when you go out to do your first consultation, we tell you what to look for when you go out to the property. We give you an existing property condition screening checklist, a resource for you to be able to know and to be able to share with your business partners, real estate agents and buyers, what they should know that you're going to look for as an FHA consultant. We are authorized to administer the FHA 203K Knowledge Assessment Test. And we actually give you everything you need to pass this test on the first time. So this is what we're giving to you as part of the information, and this is just a little piece of the puzzle. In addition to that, we give you PowerPoint presentations. We give you information that will help you be able to be available for your clients when they need you. Also, as an additional added benefit, we actually will provide you with the 203K Day of Discovery Home Study Course. We're giving this to you as an added bonus. This 8-hour video presentation and audio recording plus workbook will be just as if I was sitting in a classroom with you, or actually you sitting in a classroom with me, from the comfort of your own home. Watching this 8-hour DVD plus reading the training manual is all that you need to be able to complete the knowledge assessment test, pass it, and be able to submit your application to HUD for certification. Don't worry about what to do when you get out on the property. We teach you and hold your hand step by step throughout the process so that you're never, ever without the tools that you need. So what else do we do beside this for you? We give you with information, CDs and DVDs on working with contractors. We actually give you a videotape of me actually doing a live educational training of contractors, lenders, and real estate agents where we tell them all from the consultant's perspective what to expect from a 203K process. This is a fantastic networking and marketing tool. And many of the real estate lenders you work with will want you to partner with them to teach other real estate classes to other home buyers. We give you a one-on-one coaching session with me every single month through Skype. I actually have a fantastic network of Skype with all of our members, and I am available not 24/7. Let's not exaggerate, okay? Anytime I'm available, anytime I'm on my computer, I'm available for you to be able to speak to me. Ask me questions. Find out what's going on with the program. Ask what to do when you have a situation that you're not familiar with. I'm here every day, usually, and when I am here, I'm here for you. So when I'm working with the customer, all of our members are interested in knowing what needs to be done. And so as you can see, whoops, there it is. As you can see, here's members showing me their reports, asking me to critique it, other members asking questions, hey, saying, I can't find something, can you help me get it? And there's the response that they get. Other consultants, what do I do about this process? How do I handle this? I'm here to be able to provide resources to all of our members, and they know that I'm there for them. Because our success is your success. Part of your membership in the 203K in a Box coaching program will include complimentary membership in the National Association of FHA Consultants. You get all this for a special discounted price of only $15.97 or 3 payments of $5.99. This is the actual sale price that I offered at Inspection World, and I'm leaving this price up, which is actually $790 savings, until the end of basically this, until we finish with this promotion following up from the Inspection World Conference. When is it going to end? I'm not sure. I won't lie to you, it's not going to be around long. We actually are looking to be able to grow our ranks and hurry up and get people trained so that when the spring rush comes, we're going to have a lot of people able to do 203Ks. So I'm making this as attractive as possible. Oh, by the way, did I mention that with the 203K in a Box Elite package includes a 91-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee on all training and support? And it also includes the free software. So you get the 203K Data Discovery Home Study Course. You get 16 hours of continuing education training courses customizable on the topics of energy efficient mortgage, home inspection, and 203K. Contractor one-on-one course, a complete with DVD of the presentation and all the marketing, promotional tools, and the PowerPoint presentation so you can teach this course in your local area. And on top of all that, as an extra bonus, as I offered at the Inspection World Conference, we're going to be giving you even more information. We're going to give you a special added bonus. So, are you ready to take your business to the next level? Do you think you might want to work smarter for more money instead of harder for more headaches? If you think that you'd like to join the ranks of an FHA 203K consultant and separate yourself from your competition and get to be that person who everyone calls, even if they don't know what they're calling on, because you are the person who has the information that they need, then you want to go to this link here, 203kinabox.com/learn more, which is what you're doing today, and sign up. Enter the code IW2015, and you on the full purchase price of $23.97 to get the $15.97 price, or click the link for the single investment price of $5.97. And so you just want to click that link there. My computer slowed up a little bit. So there it is. You can click this link here, and for $5.97 you can buy it now, or for $15.97, which is an additional savings right now, and there you'll be able to have the information and everything you'll get. Your bonuses will start right away via email. When you click the full and single investment price of $15.97, it'll come up at $23.57. Down here under coupon code, you type IW2015 and hit apply, and there you see the price drops down to the $15.97, and you also get free shipping. So act now, because this offer will not last. I know that sounds so very infomercially, but it's the truth. And I haven't tried. I'm not going to lie to you. I am very eager to get started and have people join us. The program that we're looking to provide for you also includes additional benefits. I want to make this as attractive for you as I possibly can. So in addition, if you do sign up for the single installment of $15.97, you will also receive, as an additional added bonus, whoops, hang on for a second. I didn't want you to see that. Let me go back. Sorry about that. Let me go back. If you sign up today as an additional bonus, I will give you something that you'll be able to use right now, even before you become a 203K consultant. And that is, there it is. The FHA Minimum Property Standards Reporting System. This complete system, whoops, and let me pause that for a minute. There we go. Okay. This program will provide you the ability to go out right now, and in the setting of a home inspection as an upsell or as a standalone service, you actually can offer to do a report that actually will provide the information that a borrower would get from an appraisal report. And you can give it to them early on in the buying process before they've paid that $565 appraisal fee. So what we do in my market is, we don't go on the roof, we don't take off covers of electrical panel. It's a very limited assessment. It's a PDF, easy to fill report, and it's available for you to take advantage of right now for the single installment price of $15.97. So, are you ready to take your business to the next level, to really work harder? Or you want to stop working so hard? Do you want to work smarter? Do you want to be able to get to the place like me where I get to enjoy my life and all the things and the benefits of a wonderful, carefree existence? You're looking at a picture here of my family. This is why I'm a success today. Some of you met my daughter Samantha at the booth here in Philadelphia. She flew up from Florida. That's her wedding this past September. We had a beautiful wedding, and I was able to take off 2 weeks to be able to help her with the wedding, and I was able to enjoy it without having to worry about money or time or schedules. This is why I'm a success, because I'm able to be there for my family, and I'm able to enjoy my life and do all the things that I want to do. So I want to thank you all for staying on the call today. I just wanted to let you know that I am so excited to see that every single person who started on the webinar has stayed on the call through the end. This is cool, because as a special bonus for you today, just for being on the call, I'm going to be sending you via email a gift, a PowerPoint presentation that you can completely customize, and you can even take off this banner at the bottom. Okay, I'm making it fully customizable, ready for you to share with your members right now. It's called the 3 C's of Communication in Business. It's a great educational presentation. You can scale it down to as little as 15 minutes or as much as 30, however much time you have in a real estate office. And I'm giving this to you as my gift to you. This is just one of the things that we give our members every month in their Success Supplies. As a 203K in a Box member, you actually will receive monthly PowerPoint presentations, Success Supplies, forms to be able to give out to the members that you meet, to the real estate partners that you work with, printed documents, everything that you need to be able to be a successful ongoing FHA consultant, we provide it to you every single month. And so what that includes, for example, let me just show you what happened to what our members received in the month of January. So if you look at the folder for January, they received in the month of January, as their success supplies, they received a presentation called Hiring a Contractor. And so it was a PowerPoint presentation that they received, complete with everything they need, with a video of me actually doing the presentation so they know what I'm saying, the presentation, the forms that were included in the presentation. They also received a form that they actually can print off called Just for Fun. And the Just for Fun form is actually editable. And you put your logo here in the corner, you put your phone number here, you put a testimonial, you put some USPs here, and then you can put your logo at the bottom and just send this off to your printer, and you've got a fun piece of marketing that you can give out to real estate offices, home buyer workshops, real estate lawyers, lenders. This is something I actually have been able to give out to the libraries. So we give you one of these every single month, plus we also give you additional information. We actually give you a newsletter, and in that newsletter we actually give you tools and information. So for the January, we gave all of our members a New Year's resolution sheet, which some of you saw, and we also gave them a mini version of the book Think and Grow Rich. So this is what every single month that you are a member of the 203K in a Box coaching program, you actually receive success supplies coming to you in the mail every single month. Plus we have monthly webinars that we record for you to be able to participate in for added knowledge. So now, I promised that I would end on time, and that's what I'm trying to do now. So I want to close by saying the choice is yours. Some say opportunity knocks only once. That is not true. Opportunity knocks all the time, but you have to be ready for it. If the chance comes, you must have the equipment to take advantage of it. I wish I was the one who penned that phrase, but Louis L'Amour, an old Western actor from a long time ago, is the one who said that, and to me, I couldn't word it any better. I hope you've enjoyed this information. I challenge you to do one thing for me. When you get into, consider joining 203K in a Box. Consider becoming an FHA consultant and becoming someone who can stand out apart from your competition. Join us now. Take yourself to the next level. Be more than just a home inspector. I want to thank you all so much for being on the webinar today. As I promised, we're going to send you a recording of this webinar. We hope every one of you have gotten something out of it. If you have any questions, please go to our website and you can email us at info@203kinabox.com, or you can hit the Contact Us button on our website. Please consider going to the site and signing up for our free monthly e-newsletter. You'll be able to get the February newsletter. It's already out, and see archived past monthly publications. So, as I like to tell people when I see them on a webinar, in person, in live classes, until I'm able to support you in the future, be outstanding. Thank you, and good night.